this is the problem we are solving. Here are a few people that we want you to meet. There is Renika, there is Ramesh, and there is my little buddy Chotu and his friends. Do you know these people? Take a good second and look at them. Well, I'll introduce you to these people. Now, Renika knows nothing about emergency medicine. She carries a baby around all the time, and he might fall sick whenever he can. Ramesh, he cannot afford, basic medicines, and he's lying in some park because of some, problem he has in his gut. And there is Chotu. All his friends are malnourished. They need regular checkups and they need consultations, and they're not aware of it. There are too many of these people, and there are too many of these people who are actually out there in the streets, which we know of, but we never really hear from. Now, do you know these people? Do they ring a bell? There is Arjun and his buddies. There is Mr. Joseph and son. And there is Vaishali and Raghav. Do you know them? Take a good second and look at them. Well, Vaishali and Raghav, they visit the doctor whenever they're ill, and they often have unused medicines with them. Mrs. Joseph and son, they conduct monthly tests because they're very particular about their health. And they always replenish emergency medicines. And Arjun and buddies, of course, they are from some fancy school, in Gurgaon. They fall sick every 3 weeks, given medicines which they barely take those 3 days because that's what they do, right? There are too many of these people around. So, do you see what we're looking at? And if you don't, then let me just maybe call over Mansi to help you with this. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that we know Chotu and friends and Arjun and friends is quite worrying. The fact that we see the both stark sort of differences between, I mean, we look right and we see Arjun, and we look left, we see Chotu, and we gotta make a difference. A staggering 1 in 3 Indians actually die due to poor access to medicine, and medicine worth 5 billion expire every year. Both due to, I mean, also accounting due to wastage and just I don't need them anymore. I'm completely fine. So this is what we're offering. This is our value proposition. Donors, Arjun and buddies, Vaishali and Raghav. They go to partner pharmacies who give it to knowledge collection centers. They deposit their extra unused medicines. Often it's 3/4 of the packet. Even medicines like Crocin, like Disprin, because we all suffer from headaches. This then is vetted in collection knowledge centers, checked for expiry, checked, bundled up together. And then there are recipients, which is Chotu and friends again. This works through an app-based system. If they want, they can go to the collection knowledge centers and pick it up themselves, because we all don't have apps. Who can we reach for now? There are 364 million people in India who are poor. They fall below the poverty line. Out of that, 81 million live in urban India, and of that, only almost 2.2 plus million live in the national capital of Delhi, where we start.
So let me zoom in a bit into what Manasi has just told you. So our solution is that there are 5 stakeholders at play. The first one is the customer who have surplus medicine. So he can register in his app what all medicines that he has, and based on the value of the medicine, a pickup can be arranged from his house or a common collection center, like Manasi mentioned, a pharmacy. From there, through our Panacea network of delivery guys, this will be delivered to our community partner, which could be a shop nearby a where the poor people reside, or the poor people can even book the medicines over our app, so that there is full accountability for the medicine that is being donated. So prescription will be needed for the for certain kind of drugs, and that's why we have all this system in place to check authenticity. So there are 5 stakeholders. One is the customers, then the pharmaceutical stores who will be collecting it, the Panacea NGO network. It could be like delivery guys and people to sort the medicines, arrange them, underprivileged customers who will be buying them, and a corporate donor who would be able to donate money to our cause. So there are 2 ways in which we become self-sustainable. So when the donor is donating the medicine back, he won't be paying anything, but he can claim his benefits under Section 80G. So that is because the transaction will look like the donor is directly giving to the recipient. It's a donation. And there are other ideas that we'll be using something like cred coins, which is a reward based thing, where these coins can be redeemed for some kind of reward later, just like what is usually done in payment apps right now. Next slide, please. So we have a milestone. So for the we need this much time for making a prototype, MVP testing, and stable release. So in the interest of time, just our final outcome is to just help 5,000 people with their medicines. Next slide, please.
So the way we measure performance is by keeping track of the following parameters. So we want to proportionately increase the medicines collected from people who are in surplus and distribute them to the needy people. We want to increase the average cost saving as we grow our network and as we gain more donors. We want to increase the number of partnerships that we have with the community centers as well as raise funds and multiple partnerships from with government as well. Uh, we want to increase the number of new customers that are coming to our app as well as the people who are getting access to the medicine, and the end goal would be to increase the impact of our work by serving in multiple locations other than like next.
It's a relatively nascent market because business models are not very sustainable. But with the right initiative like Meds for More, where Dr. Marcus Rainey and his wife have come together and led Robin Hood style citizen initiatives, citizens reach out to organizations by email, social media, and send across the medicines, which are then operated on and distributed. Next slide. The plan of execution that we have will require a total cost of 11 lakhs, which has steps like building the tech stack, partnering with pharmacy chains, setting up distribution channels, and digital marketing and awareness program to set up empathy for the whole mission. This is the Panacea team. Our experiences in developing this project were very insightful, and we went through many contradictions and problems and changes. And it was a great journey because we understood the value of social entrepreneurship, the impact that is delivered, and how to make change sustainable. Thank you.
Also, we just wanted to acknowledge Roundtable RX for doing this before us. They're a small Minnesota-based org which helps, which again, like is Robin Hood style. They help take medicines from hospitals and sort of give it to the poor. Their business model is a little different than ours, but we just wanted to acknowledge and thank them for all the wonderful work that they're doing.